Okay, so here we are. I just tried to post some stuff to see if any of my friends wanted to join, and that was kind of annoying, so I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. But I finished scanning film that I shot. I scanned some of it with you guys the other day. Okay. And I finished the rest of the other couple of rolls. There's definitely some stuff that I did in there that I don't love. I haven't gone through and picked my selects yet. Also, my apologies if you hear anything outside. I live on a busy street, so you might hear a car or two. I want to quickly post something to Instagram to see if any friends want to join. And then we'll get going. Let's see if I can do this efficiently. Hard to say. Okie dokie. I don't know why, but I can't for the life of me get any of this to work on Twitch through the simulcasting platform that I'm using, which is really confusing to me. But I will figure it out eventually, right? Okay, so here we are. I know I liked this guy and this guy. That guy is a definite maybe. Let's see. And hopefully, theoretically, maybe, I'll actually be able to get software to work. I was at my studio the other day when I was trying to do this, and I have no idea why I didn't end up actually staying long enough to try to get the license to be active, but the license was not active in any capacity. And so my first round of just like batch editing stuff is all sorts of off color-wise because of that. Like, you're gonna look through these as I go through and pick stuff really fast, and you're gonna be like, what is wrong with all the colors? And I'm gonna be like, that's why. We're gonna fix the color. Okay. What's unfortunate is I remember liking these, but I was literally laying on the ground for these, and functionally, I don't even think you can tell that I was laying down for these. It doesn't add to the photos at all. And they are not correct. But yeah, like, I literally batched these. How did this and this get such starkly different colors from just, you know, copying the edits from previous? I couldn't tell you, but it did. Okay. So I definitely, full transparency, did not have anyone around for styling or anything for this. Like, Alyssa and I did this ourselves, and it was actually just really nice to do that on my own. But I definitely need to do some personal projects with a crew again, because I miss that. Okay. Welcome to LA. I have no idea why everybody basically races down the road like that. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, even when I copied from previous year, like, how... There's no reason for that. So I'm gonna go through and kind of just pick the quick, rough ones that I thought were fun. No. Some of these moments are definitely a what was I thinking type of moment. I also just want to see if I can take this for a twirl. So hopefully Negative Lab Pro actually works here, because it did not on my other computer. I also feel bad for whoever's dog. What is going on? I'm now concerned with why my Negative Lab Pro is not working. Hold on. I'm so confused. Hold on. LOL, my MySpace came up. For those who didn't know, I can find your old MySpace. I figured it out. I hope that I can. Hi, Steve. My microphone's actually in the way of the chat, which is not very convenient. But yes, film. We'll see if I can get the colors to match. But yes, I can also find your old MySpace. They brought him back from the dead. But why, for the life of me, I'm on my other screen right now, don't mind me, isn't my license working? I'm a little bit upset by this. Sorry. You don't get to see my license. I definitely have activated this on this computer, or so I thought. Oh my god. So it thinks that I have okay. That's strange. And not going to be very helpful for this live stream. It thinks that I've used this a bunch, which to a degree might be true, because I do format and hi! Yeah, I really need to move my mic placement because I can't see anything. But anyway, it thinks that I have used this a bajillion times, which I have not actually. I've just format and reinstall my computer, and I think everybody should do that. I fresh install my computer a lot. So let me see if I can get them to go back to me. Let me email them and see if I can get them to unlock my license. Never gonna have my license to anyone, but every installing computers, so. The one time I buy something, this is my confession, I actually have hardcore, my Adobe is paid for, but my entire childhood was built on not paying for this shit, and if I actually had stolen it, it would probably work right now. I've never had my neighbors Alright, let's see if he gets back to me. In the meantime, we will carry on. What's kind of hilarious about this is that this actually now means that I don't think I have this working on a single computer that I own. Delightful. So we're gonna flip-flop back. What will be kind of annoying about this now is that I have a countdown again, and I thought that it was just broken the other day, and that was definitely wrong. Okay. let's see where we're at. So for me personally, when I'm in this plugin, I always jump to linear. Sometimes I like to see how the cinematic ones look, because sometimes I like those, and I think that the tones are pretty. But ultimately, at the end of the day, trying to hone in on who I am as an artist doesn't mean it's always right or wrong, but I definitely tend to gravitate sometimes to a more contrasted image than not. I know that that's not what's trendy right now, and I need to really work on my sense of color as a whole. But like, I'm also not particularly drawn to making flat photography either. I am using Negative Lab Pro, and I like this a lot. I'm gonna backpedal for you really fast, Steve. So I streamed scanning some of this stuff earlier, like a couple days ago, over the weekend. And what I do is I do the tabletop DSLR scanning with the Lightbox. I actually tethered for the first time into Lightroom for this, but normally I use Capture. I just think I'm faster with that. And then you can do this a multitude of ways. I've seen some people like white balance in this space here. I don't tend to do that though. And then for reasons that are beyond me, because I'm not a software engineer, you can crop your shot, and you absolutely have to crop it, otherwise it's going to look bizarre. I'll get into that later. And then it can, for, again, reasons beyond my comprehensibility, because I'm not a software engineer, it knows, right? So I used to scan with an Epson flatbed scanner, and I would use ViewScan, and so when I did that and did the ViewScan DNGs, it knew. I know a lot of people use Epson Scan, so if you bring in TIFFs, it'll know, it just automatically plugs that in somehow. The thing that I think is fun is that they kind of have these little LUTs based off of different scanners here. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played around with this. I ought to spend a day playing around with what the saturation ends up looking like. Normally I wouldn't have the trial in here because I actually paid for a license for this, and then it converts it. Something that I think is actively annoying though is that, you know, for example, and I'll apply this for now even though I'm not going to leave this like this, even though all of these photos are shot, which actually this is like me going through these is a good example. Even though all these are shot in literally like the same value of light in my space, whenever I, you know, for example, I'm going to copy from previous, it doesn't always take stuff over the same. Like, let's see what happens if I bring it here. Do you see what I mean? Like, there's going to be color inconsistencies. Like, there's, maybe I'm also insane, but like, I can tell that there's more magenta and stuff up here versus here, where this like kind of cyan tone, not that I'm going to leave the color like this anyways, stays more evenly here. So I don't know if they've come out with ways to batch edit in this better. I mean, even a more hilarious example is like, how did I get to this, right? This is a totally shit out of focus photo, like I'm not going to use that, but like, how did I get here? Watch. So it's doing something where it automatically exposes for your negative and kind of reads whatever that data is. I have no idea what or how, but here we are. So this is just stuff I did for fun. My apologies, my dog is drinking water in the background. I'm gonna go back into the plugin for this. I know that she wants some photos in these pants. I don't remember where she got them. So we just kind of like took some silly pics in these pants. I'm gonna kind of like swing through all of this stuff. I shot everything on Kodak Portra, but It doesn't necessarily mean that I want it to live there. I'm gonna leave it neutral for now. Okay. I'm still learning for myself what this panel does. I'm in a couple groups on Facebook that are like film developing, processing, scanning groups that I'm sure have more information about what these do. But right now I'm kind of just trying to see if I can even tell the difference. I scanned some stuff for a project and it was really obvious in a daylight environment. Not to say that this is actually natural light, so I shouldn't use that as an example. But I'm still trying to figure out what is happening with the white balance with this. Here. So this brings in, if I take it to highlight weighted in this particular shot, it brings in some more like rosy tones. I don't know if that shows up for you guys to see or not. And that takes it into like a more cyan space. Oh, I didn't even think about this. For every time I apply something, it's gonna make me hit my countdown, which is really horrible. Are these like, there's no way that came from Negative Lab Pro. Okay, I wonder if those are like something new with Lightroom. So I started with this stuff the other day. I might just carry on with like really color matching some of this, but I'm not sure where I want to go. What I found more annoying was that I really wanted to hone in on these, and I have no idea why from this to this the color shifted so much. Like, it makes no sense to me. I also have no idea what I got on my negative here. My big confession is that when I was drying these, 2 of them fell off of my drying rack on the ground and I wanted to cry. I think it was these. But I will live. Let's see. Okay. I think I'll go into this and see what I can come up with. So, I'm not going to be able to color edit as much of these as I want to unless someone emails me back with some sort of hope to get my Negative Lab Pro license back. But we'll do a couple of these for now. We'll see how far I can get. Okay, so we're here. I'm not gonna white balance on the negative. I'm just gonna roll with it. I love how I'm like at a loss for words today. Can you tell that I worked today? And then I got off and I was like, I'm gonna do it. So, let's see. I'm gonna take this through all of this first. It's honestly so wild how different everything can be based off of how it attempts to automatically read the negative. I either severely overexposed this shot or I overexposed my scan, and I don't know which one it was. Okay. Let's see. Where do I want to live? I think I'm going to take it here. I don't know why, but I like the tonality of everything under like the linear curves section, especially based off of what I have going on usually. Like it'll either flatten stuff out, which I definitely don't need it to be like that flat, or it'll add some gamma in, which I definitely need in this moment. I've never looked at this until right now, but yeah, as I change these, it also changes in the histogram in Lightroom, which I think is cool. One would hope, but anyways. So, before I play around with my white balance, I'm just gonna go through I actually might like the pack-on one. Normally I do Frontier, because this stuff's like crazy flat. I don't know. I feel like people tend to have like a really specific process, and I know that some people literally own their own pack-on scanners and stuff. I'm gonna laugh if I'm saying that wrong. And they probably have like a specific process and a specific way that they want everything to look every time. I have not figured that out for myself yet, so when I go through my post process, it's kind of still a hardcore matter of playing around, seeing what I like and what I don't like. What is this versus this? It's not even a damn difference. I also just feel really confused whenever I pull the Kodak white balance feature in here, and maybe I'm delusional and I just don't understand how film looks, but it just feels way more green toned on almost like the Fujifilm scale to me, like what this does to my image. Anyways, it feels a little too, like, I don't know, it just feels wrong. I don't know why, but it just feels wrong. So what's funny is that because this is technically daylight, this is still daylight colors look decent, or probably are in line with what's accurate. But I kind of want to play around with it because that's just who I am. So let's see what happens if I take this down. Yeah, see, I don't want to like, I know some people are into all this like really crazy flat shit, and I'm just not, I'm not ready for that part of my life. I don't know. I am definitely a shadows up, which I actually don't really need to put them up that much for an image in this space already, and then like the black point down. But I also wonder, yeah, see, I feel like I'm getting more into the space of where I want to be even with this. But my white point needs to come up somehow. I'm gonna put this in here too. Just in case anyone is curious. Okay, so we've come a long way here. I actually didn't shoot anything digital this day, so I'm kind of regretting that. I love how I'm making the most strange face. And I only say that because I don't have like a really flat neutral. If I want to like color something for neutrality, I don't have anything like that to go off of right now. And I wish that I did. Okay. No. I see some, and I might end up having to take this out in Photoshop, but I see some like green hues that are coming in the shadow area, and it's probably coming in from here. Like, what happens if I pull this out? Whoa! It still lives on her neck and on this inner side here. And my normal reaction would be to assume that that's coming from, you know, maybe the leaves from the foliage behind her, but there wasn't anything in front of her face, so I don't really know where that's pulling from. Woohoo! Okay, that's definitely not what I want. No, I'm just being silly. Okay. My other world problem, life problem, is that I will have the world's worst behavior of just like now fixating on this, which doesn't make any sense. And like I can see it in here under her eyes, and then in here and up here. I'm gonna fixate on that color now, and I shouldn't, because I can just do like a light touch with that later. Okay. I feel like I'm kind of getting to a better place. Things that I have yet to use that are new in this version of Negative Lab Pro are like the Lab Glow, which like adds a glow into the highlights, and then that good old like, yeah, faded film moment. Which honestly like could maybe be fun with this, but it's just I don't really know if that's part of my style yet, or if it will ever be. I almost wonder if I need to take the black point up and the darks down instead of doing what I usually do. Okay. Alright. So I feel like the photo itself naturally set in kind of a cyan space. Am I wrong? Yeah. Like even this, right? Like, I like things to have color and feel playful. I'm definitely not someone who doesn't do that, but more and more I end up kind of like steering towards some realm of what feels real. I don't know if I'll continue to do that my whole life, but here I am. I feel like I'm gonna put a little bit of warmth in here. And I might actually bring a touch of that back. I just don't know if I want to embrace that blue or like kill it entirely. And the highlight point will become a wee bit scary for me, in the sense that, you know, I can just make her really green or really red. Okay. Now it's gonna be totally fucked when I'm done with this. Oops, I shouldn't swear like that. What's gonna be horrible is that I'm gonna save this once I'm done with it. And then I'm gonna attempt okay. I might play with this more later, but I just feel like this gets me to a base of where I want to be. And when I say play with it later, I mean in Photoshop. I have no idea, and this is just me, how anybody has a post workflow without Photoshop. Okay. I'm gonna save this. And what I think is amazing about this, to a degree, I wish that you could actually save presets. I should send this video to Negative Lab Pro and then ask them to make saved presets. Like, I wish I could save things and then come back to it if I wanted to. But what I can do is I can save these almost like to a clipboard. I'm gonna apply this. And, let's see. It's so funny, like, I guarantee you that if I apply this stuff here, it's gonna look completely different, even though same film, same area. I have no idea how these are so starkly different right now. What'll also be funny is if I spend all my time doing this and then I just completely change my mind on the color later. that would be something that I would do. Okay, so I'm gonna go into this next moment here, and I'm gonna try to color match it. I hope that I can be heard. Okay. We're gonna convert. And let's see how off it is. So there's definitely some... Why won't it even show me what... That's annoying. So this is where we're at with like the regular conversion. My apologies for everyone yelling outside. We're gonna load this in. And then I think the first thing I need to do for this particular photo is just zero all of this out. And then I may also need to change my profile for this. Simply because I might need to be more of like in a linear space or a linear deep even. Okay, one sec. I also wish that I could have some sort of like compare and variant situation with the software. That would be delightful. Alright. So I'm gonna have this living over here just so I can look at it when I convert this, because something about the highlights feels wrong. Alright, here we go. Alright, so things right off the bat, I can definitely tell that any like magenta or red that I pumped into the midtones and highlights is showing up in a way that I don't like. I love how I'm trying to like compare this right now. I might leave this in linear. Okay, so let's see if I can take this where I need it to go in linear. I'm not sure though. So right off the bat, even just a subtle movement on her end completely changes the image. So I'm going to start with probably figuring out how to get the warmth back in her face. I'm just a little bit nervous about the fact that when this converted, it converted so differently. Yeah, like where do I go if I reset? It did, it just converted a lot differently. So that is the life struggle of converting film like this. I would almost even argue that like this in here is getting me more into the realm of where I need to be. But I can't actually tell, which is really annoying. Oh, and I forgot to play with this. Why did I do that? I also just realized that if I sit back too far, I'm just like completely off camera, and I need to not do that. I feel like this web camera literally only functions so that someone knows I'm here. Okay. No. Okay. I wonder how long I've been going at this in this poor attempt of trying to figure this out. Okay, so step number 1, I definitely want to just pump a little bit more warmth. Yeah, see, I wonder where that warm tone, like this green, I can see in here too. And then, oh, that is not it. So let's go into the highlight point here. And add yellow, right? I wish I could have this be like right there. We'll see if that works. Maybe a little bit of red. Are we getting somewhere? Feels kind of like it. It feels like I'm finally getting somewhere. What's also funny is that I have not really played around with the contrast in this at all. And so I'm very tired. I apologize. Right off the bat, the first thing that I want to just call out is that copying any adjustments that I made onto this kind of like main like primary select onto here did not work at all. Even though I'm hoping you guys can tell they're from the same environment. One could maybe argue that I was closer or like farther away from the fence, but I could tell you right now that I was not. So I hope that someday, somewhere, somehow, someone can actually make, or even Negative Lab can make like a more robust formula or like form of this so that I can just bash at it. But until then, I get to make work for myself. That's definitely too red. But something is missing and I can't quite tell what it is. That might be it. I love how I'm just like mean mugging this right now. I also think I can maybe take the lights down and then take the white point up. Yeah, that'll do. So there's some more selective things that I think I would do as a next step in Photoshop. Just because I can't do them in here, right? Like I did an editorial a month or so ago for paper, and I actually think I shot like 98% of it on my Pentax or like point and shoot film cameras. And the point and shoot film came out really weird. I don't know why. But the stuff on the Pentax, again, similar situation, but the colors didn't quite match. And the biggest thing that bothered me was that the greens of the leaves weren't consistent, and they're more consistent here. But they're still a little bit off. Like I can even see here that this is warmer than this. And I'm not gonna be able to, make that kind of selective of an edit in here. And if you're curious why, I will show you in a second. I think the last thing that I want to figure out is, should I lift this black point a little bit or no? Alright, I am gonna just put that there. Okay, so this is, how I would probably And I might actually change my mind when I go through and do these for real. Not that I'm not doing them for real now, this is what currently makes sense, but I also feel a little bit limited by my ability to explore since my Negative Lab Pro license is messed up. So from here, I would take this into Photoshop or take these into Photoshop, and I would start going in and doing selective things. Like, let me go back to this one. Like right off the bat, all of these cyan undertones in her skin, I would totally take that stuff out. Let's see what this crop could actually be. I want to start becoming more skewed with my cropping. I don't really know if I will like that in 6 months. Or if I will think that I'm an idiot for trying to be edgy, but here we are. But anyway, so I'd probably play around with this stuff. I would maybe tone this down. But like I would definitely take this out and this out and this out. I'm just not sure. I won't actually know if I'm gonna like lock myself into this color space until I can go through every single image, especially since there's some photos prior to this that kind of have more of a soft feeling to them. I might actually lean into that. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so beside the point, doop. I know that this is probably taboo. I edit in sRGB unless I know it's going to get printed, because everything we view is on a screen, and the amount of times that I've worked on things with people where, and I get it, I should be working in Adobe RGB, I just, if I'm gonna print this, I'm gonna get an actual print of this negative. I'm not gonna fucking do it here. Whoops, sorry. So that way everything looks correct screen-wise. I know people that went to art school that edit in Adobe RGB and then deal with weird export things because they don't actually always export their files into sRGB after that, and they're like, why does it look different on my computer and my phone and whatever? And I'm like, because those color spaces are not the same, and Adobe RGB is for print, not for screens, as far as I'm aware. Okay, so I'm going to not do anything totally wild, but for the sake of it, I'll do a low-res export of this and kind of show you where I would go with taking some stuff out. So I'm not gonna go at this too crazy. I don't know why I did that. Because I'm not totally sold on this right now. What is my unfortunate truth? I don't even know what I'm clicking on right now. I'm also sorry if you can hear my cat. This is how you're gonna know that I haven't been in here in a while. I feel like that's not what I want. Can I do this like this? So there's a couple things that I might do. I might try to see, but see, that still has too much of a warmth in it. I didn't really get up here blue. So I might try to like select that and then shift it. I'm not sure though. Alternatively, I might just like straight up go. Let's see, let's take a guess. I feel like he's a chirpy bird. I locked him out. Really? Okay. There's no way that that's green. I'm gonna be really annoyed if this like lives under grays or something. But for example, when I shoot digital, I would normally do all this kind of stuff in Lightroom. Not Lightroom, Capture. And I love doing that there because I can literally select a specific color and ride with it, and I'm sure there's a way to do this in Photoshop that I am just not remembering. But right now I'm trying to see if I can figure out just how to even take... Yeah, that might do it. So I would maybe do this to start something of this sort. I'm not really sure. Let's see. To kind of like start. Also, y'all are gonna laugh at me. Since I broke my arm, I've really not been using my white comb at all. And I would like maybe color this in here. Wrong one. Oh, come on. No! So I'd probably maybe go in and start doing some selective stuff like this. It's really hard to say if that is doing what I want it to do though. Yeah, but it's also, it is and it isn't, right? The big problem that I would probably have is that like this is one way that I could do this. But if I'm being honest with myself, what I would probably do would be this. I would split it first. I actually don't know if I've really been done post on this computer since I got it. I also ordered one of the new laptops, and I am excited for that. I'm like trying to see if I can remember how to do this without using an action right now. I have this like saved, but I don't think it's in here. So I'd probably split these puppies up. Right, okay. And then I might duplicate my color. I don't know why I call this blur, but this is actually my color layer, whatever. And I have a really bad habit of being the crazy person that keeps all of their hierarchy of their layers, because I can always work backwards. I also have a whole little trick for how to do that with raw processing that I should probably make a video on because it's pretty fun. And it's definitely like a doomsday thing, like it's not something you should functionally ever do, but yeah, okay. I'm rambling about stuff that doesn't make sense to anyone but me. If anyone who's listening, can you guys hear the helicopters and the cars and stuff? I have no idea. Okay, so right off the bat, that's definitely too bright. Oh no. So there's a couple ways that I could maybe go about this if I wanted to. The lazy man's way would be to like select an area that feels blue, see if I can patch my way out of it or not. I say or not because, as I just showed you, it can get worse. Alternatively, I can color it in here, and then whoop, what I can do is then like dodge and burn that texture back in. Oh, I'm also doing this wrong. Or at least not how I should be doing it. This works, right? But see, even in there, I'm already, like, I have to resample my tones a bunch if I do it this way, which for me annoys me a wee bit. And then I get crabby about it. Alright, let's see where we're at. But yeah, see, if I do this like this, then I can take this up and I can go in and like really selectively and specifically paint this in however I want it to. And I can also, one trick that I learned, which isn't always my favorite thing, is the, this like gradient map tool. I'm not even gonna bother with that right now. So anyway, there's a multitude of ways that I can go in and start like taking those tones out. I'm not gonna actually go in and do this hardcore right now because it's not what I want to do. Okay, so this guy I've done, and now I think I want to actually work on the stuff that I'm most excited about, which is undeniably these. Here we go. I think I should maybe actually not start with a portrait. I think that I will do a full body. I don't know why I scanned this in twice. Alright. So this is gonna be my main moment here. I want to see something really fast. Okay. Not going to sample or white balance from the border. We're gonna do this. Oh, you know what I should do first? Hold on. I'm gonna save this for color first. Not that I'm going to apply it directly, but I want to be able to work off of that. They did not email me with a new license or with any update on my license, but I have to understand that people have lives, and I am not a priority to them. So right off the bat, I'm kind of in like a super neutral space, which it was... Why can't I expand this right now? Hold on. Phew. Why? Okay. Going back at it. I don't know, as I make these like weird faces at myself, if this is... I don't even think that this is loading what I did in any capacity. No. So that is definitely my biggest complaint with this plugin. Love Negative Lab Pro. I love the control I have. Not particularly in love with some of the other elements of it, like the fact that my shit is just never the same across any of my photos. I do really want to, even if it's like a little bit too much, I do think that I might really lean into the cyan stuff they had in those other shots. What sucks is that I am not going to be able to get these to match easily. So I have a couple of options. Let me hit cancel for a second. I can, you know, digest that these are kind of like all in some shape or form existing in this kind of like tealy red color space, and then I can reset them all, neutralize them, and then add this color later, or I can do it in here, and I think that I want to do it in here. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna reset this. What's funny though is that when I did this before, I did not take it into cool like this. Okay, so right off the bat, if I put this in neutral and then I take this down a little bit, I feel like I'm starting to get into the land of the teal. Yeah, here we go. I don't know. Definitely that's too much. I may actually end up using Shadow Hard, but let's see what Gamma looks like. So one thing that I can tell from this right now is that the linear tone curve definitely brings in, and you can, if I could open them, you could see it in the other shots. This tone curve brings in some of this like yellow and these highlighted points here versus, versus if I'm in, oops, I don't want to go lab hard, that's a lie, but if I'm in lab shadow hard, that, but I might actually do without it, even though I don't normally go that way. Can I take it out by like playing with this? Let's see. I keep picking that and that's not what I want to compare. I don't know. I hate that I don't know which way I want to go, because then it's going to dictate every other move that I do. Like, undeniably, this is more of like some shit I would do choice. So I'm trying to not do what I would do, which feels more like this. I control what I'm doing more. Yeah, because like that's definitely prettier. Okay, so something I want to do is hop in here because I forgot to do this with the other one and kind of figure out, you know, when I hit the curve points to be precise versus smooth, you know, there's a yellow tone that gets added into my highlights versus some fuchsia in there. Auto looks like it probably splits the difference. I have no idea what scale this is on. Let's see what happens if I hit 1. Okay. Can I do 19? I hate that I don't actually know what this does, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm hitting random buttons right now. 8. 9. Is this on a scale of 1 to 10? Interesting. So this versus smooth. Whoops, sorry. I think I'm gonna leave it in smooth and not pretend like I know what this function does, because I have no idea yet. I need to do some more reading into what this does. But I feel like this makes the curve, the color, and wow, I'm just gonna stop. It makes it feel a little bit more even to me. So tones first versus color first. I'm a wee bit annoyed because when I've played around with this on other photos that I have not live streamed, I can see a difference. Cannot see a damn difference right now. Neutral density. Subtract density is gonna make it really flat. Okay, or not. Normally it does. No, I'm wrong. Well, I'm not wrong, but in some situations, the neutral density and wow, I actually don't remember. I've literally only played with these functions on one other image set. I swear on my life, one of these. I think that neutral density flattened it more, and for some reason I feel like subtract density added contrast, but I could be wrong. Which is funny, it says add, neutral, subtract, but I might actually be thinking about this shit. I'm thinking of this stuff, I think. Never mind. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm definitely thinking about this. What's weird is it's doing what it makes sense to be doing right now, which is subtract, neutral, and add. But I remember it on a different image set doing the opposite, and I cannot tell you why I remember that being that way. But it doesn't even matter because I have not looked into the new functionality of Negative Lab Pro yet. I hate that linear fixed versus highlight and shadow weighted don't feel that different to me, because I feel like they should make a big difference. Mid-tone weighted, I can obviously see that. I don't know if anyone else can see that, but I can. Alright, we're gonna go to linear fixed here. Sorry, I'm making a face about that car. I don't understand why people do that. Sorry. I also realize that I'm like syncing as I talk, which is kind of hilarious. Am I alive now? I'm here. I'm just very tired, I'm sorry. Okay. So, backpedaling on here. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of warmth. I think I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the shadows, because even though it's like super surrealist, and I get that, I kind of liked how in the one base photo that I had, that everything just like felt kind of cyan in there. Let's see if I can bring it back a little bit. I definitely don't want it to be like as cyan. But you know. I don't know, maybe I should like let that live in the whole image. Let's see. Woo! Just make a green, call it a day. So if I actually take the midtones into kind of like magenta and yellow. Ooh. It's funny how color editing, which I am by no means the master of this, it's literally a matter of just like mixing primary colors till you die. Official and Wild, so I might just open this, and I can't. I do have it on my phone though, actually, so give me 1 second. So something I don't like about this, I could tell something was off, is I started pumping red into her face, and in the shots that I have that I like, it's way more like orangey yellow. I hope that I'm not the only one that will just stare at a screen and then my eyes are just like, nope. Alright, what else do I have going on here? I feel like some depth in the shadows. Let's see. As far as the midtones go, I kind of like where this is living. I wish that I could actually then take this in some capacity into... So here's the thing, is I want to take the lights down, and then I feel like I probably want to just take this white point up. What happens if I max this out? That brings in kind of some of this highlight here. There is a ceiling to what we can do in here. And it also definitely varies based off of the tone curve that you pick. But, nonetheless. So I'm gonna do that, and then I think I'm actually gonna make this not that dark, but like maybe more in here. Can I see a before and after from earlier to now? And I honestly kind of wonder, even though I don't want to actually do that. Yeah, see, I don't want, I might have to add some of that highlight back in manually, which I think I'm okay with. And should I take this down? A touch more. Okay. Now, for fun, let's just kind of see if I'm like closer but also not. So the one thing that I will say about this photo, and just also the way that it converted when I like copied and pasted settings, is that it's definitely just overexposed looking to me. And I mean, I did shoot on my roof on a sunny day. The building is white, but I feel like Alyssa's complexion's a lot more really fuck around with. I really need to stop swearing. Does not allow you to play around with the panels in Lightroom once you've processed this. Like, it's kind of game over. And I wish that... How do I... Damn it. Here we go. If I make a copy here... Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. Okay, let's see what happens. If I make a copy and it copies this, can I play with it? That'll be the moment of truth. I might be able to. The only annoying part is that now, if it worked, I have a TIFF, which yep, okay. So I'm not gonna lie, I've never played around with that before, and I probably should have a long time ago. But, oh. But now I can maybe bring out some of this moment in here that I really want to have happen. So that's fun. And then for this photo, I started doing this in here. I'm not sure if I will continue to try to do this in here, but I tried to like start playing around with distortion on it. Ooh, that's not what I wanted in Incapacity. I keep using keyboard shortcuts for Capture One, even though I'm not in Capture One, which is not helpful. There we go. Come on. Alright. So in a theoretical scenario that I'm going to use this, I have no idea if that looks insanely fake or not. It's a textured wall. They'll never know. Okay. So I think, oh, I found another one. So in a theoretical scenario, I now have this. What I should try to do is, hold on. That's obviously wrong. I love that in some regards what I'm trying to do now is not the smart way to do this. Is the texture the same from the same part of the building, Cole? Probably. Okay. This is also the only, like, prepubescent form of healing tool I would ever use in Lightroom. Because why would you do this? Oh, this I cannot. I'm not trying that in here. That's just gonna look really bad. I'm already concerned about how some of this looks kind of unnatural as it currently stands, but fortunately enough, it's an organic wall texture. If anyone can spot this later, I should give them a prize. Okay, so really kind of loving, no. Really kind of loving that I can do this like this. I don't really use raw processors like Lightroom or wow, Capture One to edit compressed files like this. But who knows, maybe I'll learn a treasure. I also feel like I just made that worse somehow. Okay. So where this is kind of amazing is that I think that I got this to match this, which if you saw my video the other day, I literally just copied and pasted this from a different photo. Like, this was not even converted properly. And I think I got this and this to kind of be similar. So that's how I go about doing that. It's a manual, beautiful manual headache. I don't think that there is a way to copy and paste this and have it be beautifully color accurate. I haven't really played around with too many other film processors like this. I know that there are a couple other applications similar to, or plugins similar to Native Lab Pro, and I should probably look at those. But the stuff that I have tried, I just didn't feel like it was as robust, and I like being able to kind of play and have this creative freedom to tweak and adjust things as I want. I may end up coming back into this stuff because I actually really love not what's totally happening here, but there's like a softness that's going on here that I think is really fun. I might try to actually bring that into here, but I'm not sure yet, so I may revisit this whole moment, which this is a whole different conversation, right? Like, same shots, same environment, same conversion software. Look how different these are. So there's still a lot that I have to learn about how the plugin works, but this is what I would do so far anyway. If you have any tips or tricks or things that you do with Native Lab Pro, like, please by all means let me know, because I bet that maybe somebody someday will watch this and be like, this is how I do it, and it will be more intuitive maybe than what I'm doing, but here we are. Thanks for joining me, guys.